You are now listening to Mr. Z Blackneffect.
Fair use, fair use, fair use, fair use. And Brooklyn Finest says, "Yo, please tell me you're going to address Sarge Willie Pete's latest video. He's trying to give Keisha an out. I can't believe it." Brooklyn Finest. You know what's crazy? I listened to about a little over half of that stream of consciousness, excuse me, from Sarge Willie Pete this morning. So let's start off with what I agree with. And Sarge Willie Pete is a little bit late on this. Y'all know that I've been speaking about this for a while, which is the particular vitriol coming from non-FBA ADOS women in particular. And this is why I used to mention the grapevine all the time and hyper focus on the grapevine and the contributors on the grapevine from years ago. Shout out to all of you folks who weren't so active on YouTube in 2014, 2013, 2016, 2017. Um, the grapevine was on for a while. I want to say maybe 2010, 2011 or something like that, up until maybe 2017, 18, maybe something like that, maybe even 20, yeah, something like that, 2017, 2019. They tried to keep on rebooting it, but I guess it just didn't work out. Ashley Acuna was the host. Shout out to Ashley Acuna. She wasn't the worst all the time. Oh man, we splitting hairs now. But there were certain contributors. Looking at you, Uchechi, where there was a certain contempt. Looking at you, Bobo, who was a contributor that came on towards the later seasons. There were a number of contributors, and Sarge Willie Pete is right. There were a number of black women, non-ADOS black women, from the Caribbean, yes, but mainly from the continent, who had a very vitriolic anger, rage, and resentment at black men, but particularly ADOS FBA black men, right? And Sarge Willie Pete does have a point. I recall clearly with Stephon Clark, wasn't that the one from the Oakland area, right? If I'm not mistaken. And Bobo made a comment like essentially screw them Negroes. You know, we're over here being we're making sure not to use profanity, so we're gonna be a little bit kinder with our words. And Soren slowed her up. It was like, look, these police officers, the state, all they care about is a black person, a black silhouette. Black men are gonna get it more because, well, black men, black males. But black women can get caught up in this also. And that is a prime example. It's not like Soren was always the friend to black men, right? But Soren was ADOS FBA, and Bobo was not. Bobo was from South Africa, and she wasn't a unattractive woman. She was okay looking. With that once again, that vitriol, right? That vitriol. So Sarge Willie Pete is correct to a certain extent, obviously, with his observation that there's a line, I would argue, that the majority of ADOS FBA women won't go, that maybe a larger amount of immigrants, children of immigrants, maybe even grandchildren of immigrants, black women from the diaspora, that they will go. There's a line, once again, that FBA ADOS women won't go in their critique and criticism of black men, that non-ADOS, non-FBA black women will go. Now, Mr. Z is going to come off a bit biased, but from my observation as a Caribbean descent man, the African sisters take it all the way. So, once again, this is not across the board. Yes, you have the Cynthia G's, right? How many African women will say that? Let's delete unborn black males. Not all, not most. a small amount. Well, from what we understand, Cynthia G is ADOS FBA. So you will have ADOS FBA who speak like this. That exist, right? With that, I would argue you're more likely to hear non-ADOS FBA, particularly black women from the continent, who speak like that. I would also agree with Sarge that way too much of the conversation gets into colorism, particularly when you start talking to African sisters. The issue that African, and y'all send this to y'all African cousins, y'all African sisters and cousins, girl cousins, because we just gonna call it out for what it is. Y'all are taking your resentment, anger out on ADOS FBA men because you too cowardly to say something to them white boys who ain't choosing up on you. Huh? To all the continental African black women, you're too cowardly to say something to them white boys that have you on the peen carousel and still don't marry your ass. Uh-oh. Wasn't supposed to say that out loud. Huh? You know, I recall hearing Uchechi say this once on the grapevine, that the first person to compliment her about her looks was a white man. And I always find that fascinating when black women say that, particularly, obviously, Caribbean and definitely continental African black women. Because Mr. Z then forwards them, prove it. Cut the loyalty crap. Prove it. Marry the white man. If you could get one worth a damn to marry you. Huh? Prove it. See, Mr. Z is on that type of time when it comes to all black women across the diaspora, ADOS FBA and not ADOS FBA. Prove it. Because I know what country we live in. Huh? I know what country we live in. I know what society we live in. All these non-black men find y'all so attractive and they want to be with y'all. It's your own loyalty that's keeping you from ending up with the Latino or the white guy, the East or South Asian guy, the Middle Eastern guy. Prove it. Huh? Cut the crap with the first person to ever compliment me about my hair texture, the first person to ever compliment me about my features, the first person to ever find me attractive, and the first person to ever speak to me positively, the first was a white guy. Cut the crap, prove it. See, that allows for black women to have their foot in this box and in that box. Because what they're attempting to do is lead you on with these mythical, magical white men who are so much better than black men. Huh? These omnipotent, omniscient, non-black men, particularly obviously white men. Huh? It's always that. Shout out to Lene. You know, black men, they take us for granted that they're the white man. You know, when a white man's with you, he just so appreciates you and he treats you. Prove it. Now, Lene is slim, dark, and you know when the white dudes mess with a black woman, they probably gonna mess with a slim, dark, especially the small hats. Lene might be able to prove it. Can most black women prove it? Nope. Huh? From now on, dear black men, when the sisters get to talking so positively about these non-black men, their omniscience, their potence, excuse me, tell them to prove it. And don't let them pull the loyalty crap or, no, I'm more attracted to black men, but you're speaking so positively about white men. Prove it. The continental African black women are just too cowardly to check their Nigerian uncle who told them to shut the hell up one time when they were at the house. Huh? They're too cowardly to say, look, I'm tribal as hell. I hate that I'm thrown in the quote unquote black bucket with the ADOS FBA people. I'm better than them. I'm from such and such tribe. I'm more educated than them. I went to Harvard. Stop including me with those black people over there. I'm not like that lowly. Black man, huh? Where I'm from, I am the white people. Oh, lame, huh? And to be frank, to Sarge, the reason why you would find non-ADOS FBA black folks so into the conversation consider concerning, excuse me, ADOS FBA black folks is because we're here now. Most of us are not going back to Nigeria or Congo or Kenya, Somalia, Sudan, Haiti, Jamaica. We're not moving back. We're not. The vast majority of us. We might go visit. We might take on our parents' house that they went back and built. And when we visit, we go visit there. We're not going back. We're here now. Huh? And that's not to mention the non-ABA ADOS folks who marry into Black American society. Soon to be Z. Huh? That's number one. Number two, and I only got halfway, so maybe Sarge mentions it towards the second half. The tribalism. The tribalism that comes from the continent in particular. We have it in the Caribbean also, but it's more obviously nationalism. With that, the tribalism. You imagine being Nigerian descent. Your folks in America have the most PhDs per capita, and nobody care what y'all talking about because you're not cool. God damn. You imagine being Nigerian descent. People see y'all in the black community as the sugar daddies, especially obviously the Nigerian men. And nobody care what y'all talking about because ADOS FBA, particularly the men, define what cool is. You imagine being so educated, you driving around in the Benz, you have a nice home, you're a doctor, you're okay looking, and your competition, you're making $250,000 a year, $300,000 a year, and your competition for women is some swaggy ass blue collar city worker making $65,000 a year. You imagine, huh? And that's the men. We're not even gonna get on the women, huh? You imagine being a Nigerian descent woman, and who defines what cool is some hood ass black woman out of Chicago, out of Miami, out of Harlem, out of LA, out of Dallas, out of Atlanta, huh? You imagine? Out of St. Louis, imagine. Out of Tennessee somewhere, Memphis, huh? Imagine being a Nigerian descent woman. Put together, you're doing well, and who defines what cool is Glorilla. Goddamn. Meg the Stallion. Yikes. And not for nothing, they become artists and become richer than you. Well, damn. Huh? Mobile, yeah, yeah. Flo Milli, yep, yep. Huh? You imagine? Nigerian descent women, Americanized Nigerian descent women are put in a really, really bad pincer move. They're Americanized, so many of the Nigerian descent men are kind of straight off of them. They're too Americanized, but they still have all of the a-holeness of your standard Nigerian woman. Ooh, damn, Z, you said that out loud. Ooh, you said that out loud. So they have the worst proclivities of Nigerian descent women and the worst proclivities of ADOS FBA women. So they look down on ADOS FBA men and then their own Nigerian descent men ain't trying to mess with them, and the white guys only want to pipe and toss. Oh, oh, the pain. Oh, the pain. Yeah, they angry. Of course they're angry, Sarge. Of course they're angry. But they can only take that anger out on really ADOS FBA men. Who they gonna file a complaint to? Huh? Who are they going to file the complaint? My apologies, y'all. Reckless streams. Y'all already know what it is. But yeah, so and Telescope says envious AF of ADOS cultural relevancy. Yes, no, I've made mention of this that ADOS FBA are the face of blackness in America clearly, but around the planet, and there are folks that are angry and jealous of that. They don't have the balls or the ovaries to say it, huh? They don't have the balls or the ovaries to say it, but a lot of folks are jealous of that across the black diaspora, from black Brits, black Canadians to Nigerians, a handful of Haitians to be fair, Jamaicans. Mr. Z has heard the comment from a couple of people from the diaspora. Yeah. Here's the thing: they can't do nothing about it. Ooh, they can't do anything about it. Huh? ADOS FBA are the face of black on the planet, and they're the face of cool on the planet. Oh, the anger! Oh, you imagine. So I hear what Sarge Willie Pete is saying. Here's where I disagree with Sarge Willie Pete, and I think he has it wrong. I mentioned a few names earlier, the Cynthia G's of the world. We have to appreciate that if Nigerian descent women, Congolese women, Somali women, Sudanese women, first, second, maybe even third gen in America, if they immigrated to America and ADOS FBA women weren't on that type of time, the giving black men the middle finger type of time, those women couldn't pull it either. Huh? ADOS FBA women allowed for that. As a matter of fact, they set the tempo for that. It would have been super clear if ADOS FBA women were not engaging in that. And we could, wait a minute, such and such is Haitian. Yeah, no wonder she sound like that. Oh, wait a minute, such and such is Nigerian. She's Igbo. She's Yoruba. No wonder she sound like that. We can't say that because all of these black women, ADOS or not, sounds like this. Huh? Yikes. Huh? What I would also forward to Sarge, although I don't think ADOS FBA are on the exact same type of time as white nationalists, I would caution ADOS FBA into walking down this road with the white nationalists. There's a reason why the white nationalists sound the way they do. Are you sure you appreciate it and what their end goal is? Is their end goal your end goal? Huh? Number one. Number two, these people, many of them are Americanized, especially by the time you get to second generation, third, obviously third generation, they're Americanized. I think there needs to be an investigation on the angst of being the out group person and what people do to be included in the in group. A couple of days ago, Mr. Z is under the weather, by the way. A couple of days ago, I didn't cover this because I was a bit under the weather. I wanted to cover Myron. Not Myron, I'm sorry. Same difference. I wanted to cover Sagar and Jetty off of Breaking Points, and how much Sagar and Jetty is nothing more than a terminally online white frat bro curry dipped. Huh? You hear it and how engaged she is. As much, this is supposed to be a professional, mid 30s, or maybe early 30s. I think he's 33 years old. Early 30s, professional South Asian descent man. And Sagar tends to sound pretty professional. Right up until we start talking about black people. Oops. Right up until it's culture war conversation. He thinks he's so above it and so much mature. And then he just sounds like any run-of-the-mill white man his age, edgelord, with a light coating of professionalism. He knows better than to use certain words, but the sentiment is still conveyed. What does it mean to be an out-group person? Huh. What does it mean to be an out-group person? And your skin color also says that you out-group. See, we're not talking about the Italians or the Polish now. We're not talking about the Irish now, who all they had to do was change their name, and by the time their children come of age, you don't know. Huh? See, if you're Irish in 1890 and you change your name, maybe folks could tell from you in your accent. Your children born raised here, definitely your grandchildren, it's out of there. No one could tell anymore. You're white. You have the skin color of the dominant society. What happens when you don't have the skin color of the dominant society? Myron, Sagar, Vivek, and yes, Mr. Z did see them white folks flaming Vivek at that town hall. You saw the look on his face? Huh? Jesus is the one true God. Oh boy. Huh? Pagan religions. Meanwhile, Hinduism is older than Christianity. Yikes. Huh? Yeah, what happened? What happens when you're the out group man or woman and you don't have the skin color? You're not white passing. What happens? How do you cope with that? No one in our society outside of mainly black folks, black scholars from yesteryear, ever speak about being out group and having the color that denotes out group. Very important. Mindy Kaling and her brother, huh? I said Vivek. I said Bobby Jindal. Well, I didn't say Bobby Jindal earlier. Bobby Jindal, huh? There's a number of these folks. Candace Owens, the Hodge twins, Officer Tatum, Dr. Sheriff Clark. Ooh, goddamn, y'all forgot about that name, huh? Huh? There's a conversation to be had about being out group and having the skin color of out group and how do you behave? Feeling like you will never truly be accepted, regardless of your education, regardless of your status, regardless of your marital status and who you're married to, Sauger. Ooh, Marshall, yikes. A lot of these folks grow up in some white ass areas, and you could tell because, ooh, huh? Yikes. Hysterical, Toya. Huh? It's a real question for men and for women. Huh? Ah. So shout out to Sarge Willie Pete. Um, yes, I Brooklyn's Finest. Yes, I listened to about half of it, and I can appreciate what he's saying. What I would say is I wouldn't go apologizing to ADOS FBA women so quickly because they're the ones still leading the charge, and because of their misandry, they allow for non-ADOS FBA women in America to hide their misandry behind claims of ADOS FBA women. Huh? So I would caution you. Remember, from what we understand, Cynthia G is ADOS FBA. Chrissy is half ADOS FBA. I think her mom, who she was raised with, is ADOS FBA, if I'm not mistaken. Paris Milan, if I'm not mistaken, is ADOS FBA. We can go down the list. Huh? Simone Sanders, Tiffany Cross, Angela Rye. Huh? Not Amanda Seals. Well, Amanda Seals' father is ADOS FBA, but he wasn't in the picture. Huh? So I would caution Sarge. Right? So, and even with the most extreme rhetoric, there's a reason why I brought up Cynthia G. That delete unborn black male babies in the womb, Cynthia G. Last time we checked, she was AUS FBA. Huh? So I would caution him with so easily saying, well, right. So on that note, y'all, we'll pause on that and shout out to you, Brooklyn Finest. Yeah, I saw it. And for those of you that are wondering what we are speaking about, where did that comment go, Brooklyn's Finest? Did I already leave? I thought I saw it earlier. Here we go. There we go. And Brooklyn Finest said, yo, please tell me you're going to address Sarge Willie Pete latest video. He's trying to give Keisha an out. I can't believe it. Yeah, no, the issue really is they struggling and now they trying to find little slick ass ways to have you subsidize them without them saying it. Right? Without them saying it. And so shout out to Trell. It figures that Trell wouldn't be in the comments right now. Hopefully he catches this on the replay. And shout out to Trell Bentley. I'll play this for him next time he's in the comments. But this is a very, very Trell Bentley video. Shout out to the Asians.
Look, I just want to know. I know your bitches ain't celibate. So who's selling it? Which one y'all selling it? You heard? Let me know y'all selling it. Because I know you're selling it. You ain't celibate. Stop playing with me. Stop playing with me.
So shout out to all of you who get it, who's in the comments. For those of you who don't get the inside joke, whenever Mr. Z mentions the fact that there are a number of black women in general in America who throw in a temper tantrum because they can't get the type of man they want to bow and kiss their ass. And so they go on these quote unquote celibate journeys for a year, 2 years, 5 years, 7 years. And I say often that for some of the women, I believe them. I do believe them. I do believe that there are women who get angry at the world that they can't get the type of man they find attractive and appealing to kiss their ass or at least to adhere to their rules. So they get angry like little temper tantrum children that they are, and they take their vagina off the table for every man. Nothing wrong with that. So when I say, "Oh yeah, these women are celibate," you'll see Trell and the Billy say, "If she's celibate, then if she's celibate, if she's selling it, then I'm celibate," or something like that. He'll say, I forgot how he says it, but it's always funny when he says it, right? It's always funny. So once again, shout out to Trell Trell Billy. No, he say, "If she's celibate, I'll buy a bit." That's what he says. There it goes. If she's celibate, then I'll buy a bit. Right. And so we'll play that one more again. And shout out to Trell Billy. Hopefully he catches this on the replay.
Look, I just want to know. I know your bitches ain't celibate. So who's selling it? Which one y'all selling it? You heard? Let me know y'all selling it, because I know you're selling it. You ain't celibate. Stop playing with me. Stop playing with me.
Hysterical. Hey, those were hundreds. I saw 20s. I saw hundreds. Hey, shout out to the Asian dude. He said, "Hey, it's happening here in the Asian community too, I guess." Huh? Yeah, we saw the tattoos. I wonder if these women Asian dudes that mess with black women. Either way, right? Exactly. Sexer says, "Stop playing with me." Hey, he said, "Look, we know what it is as men. We appreciate what it is. Our society lets women lie. They let women lie to themselves. They let women lie to the rest of society. I've said it a million times. Let Z say it a million and one times. We do not bring women into the deep end of the pool in conversation. We let them pull out these victim ass one-liner statements. We let them use these victim ass one-liner statements, and we pretend, or we actually do, I don't know which one is worse, like we understand and agree with them, with the men are not on our level and the men are not mature enough. Huh? Weaponize incompetence. The men still want to be patriarchal. The men are intimidated by me and my success. Huh? These men are man children, man child. Of course, Trell will show up after I play the video. I'll get to it in a minute, right? So we allow for women to engage in that. And our technocrats in particular allow for women to engage in that, and then they pretend like they believe them. Or worse, they actually do believe them. Or better? I don't know which one is worse. Huh? Yikes. So before I play the clip again, ain't nobody say anything. I gotta ask Trell the question. Trell, every time I say these ladies are celibate, what do you say? Whenever I say these women are celibate, they've been celibate for a year, 5 years, 7 years, 10, 15, 20 years. What do you always say in the comments? Nobody say anything, only Trell. And don't give them no idea, no hints. Because I got I got something for him. Uh, trying to give Trell a chance to answer before I play this video. There we go. If they sell a bit, I'm bisexual. Here you go. Here you go, Trell.
Look, I just want to know. I know your bitches ain't celibate. So who's selling it? Which one y'all selling it? You heard? Let me know y'all selling it, because I know you're selling it. You ain't celibate. Stop playing with me. Stop playing with me.
Oh, and Trell says, if they sell a bit, then I'm bisexual. Hey, Trell, you got an Asian brother who said, yeah, me too. You got an Asian brother that agree with you. Look at Z rhyming. For real. No, I really do think there are women that really mean it, though. They're angry at the world, or they used to be out here on the carousel. They got in their mid-30s or their early 30s. I'm just slow. Clearly following my heart and being trusting. And they always have to frame it like they're the victim of their own choices, right? Opening my heart and being open to these men and being kind. And I was used and I was victimized. And yawn. No, you chose who you wanted. Whatever man you have in the friend zone that tried to tell you, yeah, nah, I don't know about him. You brushed him off, huh? And yeah. So when they get into their early 30s, their late 20s, their mid 30s, I'm gonna go celibate because these men yawn. No, madam, you did what you wanted to do with your box, and you have nothing to show for it but a full mouth and a sticky back, and even worse, maybe even an empty purse. Goddamn, Mr. Z Ramen, huh? As dusty as I want to be, says sweetie celibate. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I kind of heard on the periphery, right? Heard it from the grapevine. Her talk about grapevine, but um her situation. Look, what about Sweetie says that she's not on that type of time, right? What about nothing about her says that she wouldn't pull it, that she wouldn't do that, that she wouldn't engage in that. She's definitely not. She doesn't even give you the aura of I wouldn't do that, huh? And so he says, "Oh, the back is sticky and the bag is empty." But yeah, Faber, I heard that too. Faber says cooking with Kaya celibate. Oh man, huh? I don't know how true any of these things are. I heard them tangentially, like when you're just surfing on these YouTube streets and you see the thumbnail, right? You might click it for 5 or 10 seconds. You don't really let the story go. You just click off like yawn. Yeah. So I'm not following these stories too much. I'm not surprised. And this leads us onto our main event. Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat and the hype button on the way out. So we're going to lead to our main event, but let me read this first. Where did that go? And Vince says, and thank you for the super chat. All hell Balamuccio says, shout out to Vince. Implants cosplaying the angry black FBA woman. Yes. Yes, exactly. Right? And talk about Balamuccio. Let's check on Balamuccio, how he doing.
So where are the men? Where do y'all hang out? If you don't go to coffee...
I have been watching this call in advance for maybe the last 30 minutes. I've even given them names, life stories. That's Barlamuccio. He's always been a loner. And if you sit and watch Barlamuccio for about 30 minutes, you'll notice, see, he just quick to pass off. He is his own ant. And notice how he's a lot bigger than a lot of the other ones as well. Oh, Barlamuccio, I will miss you, because I won't realize which one you are after this interaction.
And thus ended the tale of Barlamuccio. Good old Barlamuccio.
And Telescope says, these quote-unquote celibate chicks equal incels. Excuse me. They both just can't make the people they want to want them. Yes, absolutely. Which human being outside of, I don't know, I can't even say the best looking dudes because even they get turned down. So which human being on planet Earth has always had the person they find attractive find them attractive? What ends up happening is we haven't really taught our daughters on planet Earth, particularly the ones who have gone through first, second wave, maybe third wave feminism, that nobody owe you anything. These women appreciate that they owe the boys and the men nothing, right? These women appreciate that, both young and old. The women appreciate they owe the men and the boys absolutely nothing. What they don't appreciate is likewise, the boys and men owe you absolutely nothing. They don't owe you being kind. They don't owe you looking out when you're trying to lift something heavy. They don't owe you pretending like they find you attractive. They don't owe you a cordial conversation. They don't owe you putting their life on the line, putting their life on the line to help you out of a violent situation or a difficult situation, just like the women owe the men nothing. For all of us that seen the commercial where the young white dude, I think he has his headphones in, he's about to cross the street, and the middle-aged black woman pull him before he crossed the street. I think a bus was passing by or something like that. The women don't owe you that. It is definitely the more humane thing to do, the more civilized thing to do, right? I would argue you need a society where others are concerned for others to have a society, right? With that, in that commercial, in real life, that black woman doesn't owe that young white dude, pulling him back before he crosses the street. Huh? We appreciate that in our society. Do we appreciate on the other side? The boys and the men don't owe you the cordial conversation when you find them attractive. Going to that.
So I went to this singles event last night in Houston called Crush Club. And hopefully this doesn't get in the wrong eyeballs, but black men that talk to white women and kind of like push you away when you're trying to talk to them, it's kind of crazy. Like I was talking to this gentleman last night at the event, and I just stumbled upon him. He was at the bar and I was going towards the bar, and I started talking to him, and he was a nice statuesque black guy. Like they have all these stickers that had color codes. So basically like green was like 21 to 24. Purple was 25 to 27 or something, and then or 29, and then orange was like 30 to 34, and then red, which was what I was wearing, is 35 and up. No cap. So he had a red sticker on, and I was like, okay, so he's in my age range or whatever. So I started talking to him, and he's with this Latino guy, and they're just chatting it up or whatever. And I was like, okay, finally I'm finding the people with the red tags on. How are you guys doing? Just mingling. I have no problem talking to anybody. So he says, I'm doing good, and he's like really chipper and really like over the top, kind of just like not flamboyant, but like boisterous and full of energy. Super chill, seemed like, or whatever. But he kept looking over me. He's taller than me, and he kept looking over me, and he was like doing these eyes at his Latino friend. I was like, okay, well, how long have you guys been here? And he ends up saying like, oh no, we just got here maybe like 30 minutes ago. And I was like, okay, I've been here for about an hour. Have you already stopped by the bar, or this is you? He was like, no, I'm not actually going to the bar. I just like stand by the bar line because people are moving and it's more accessible. And I was like, okay, that makes sense. Like, cool. All right, well, anyways, like, what's your name? And I see it on his name tag, but I always like to say, what's your name? I don't remember his name. Let's not even go there because irrelevant. But he keeps looking at this Latino guy like over and beyond me. And I was like, well, you know what? I'm not gonna hold you guys up. It was nice to meet you. I just like to mingle and say hello to everybody. 2 seconds later, this motherfucker is with this white girl. And I'm like, oh, my bad. I wasn't your type, my nigga. Sorry for interrupting your swag for the white girls. No offense, but like, it's just so curious and like different. Like, I don't know. I go to a lot of black spaces. So when I go to these spaces, I know that the niggas like other niggas. But when you're in these kind of spaces and like everybody's involved, it's kind of one of those things where you're just like, you're unsure, so you don't want to step on any toes. And throughout the night, I saw this guy, not looking, but we're in a space where it's like, okay, if you already talk to somebody, that kind of like piques your eye when you're in that space still. So this man talked to at least 4 white girls only, and mind you, there were several beautiful black ladies there. And that's okay. That's your preference. Nobody is talking about the preference. Let's not go there. Let's not say, oh, why can black girls date white guys and white guys can't date white girls? I mean, black guys can't date white girls. We're not comparing. It's just how he was like basically looking through me like I was like invisible. Like, I get your preference, but you can also show me respect and like speak to me if I'm just talking to you. And you don't have to like look through me and like, be looking over to your friend like, fuck this chick, let's talk to her. Like, I don't know, kind of weird. But black guys that do that, it's just, it's like, bitch, and he's dark skinned. I look like your mom. Like, okay.
Yawn. Okay, so the question for everyone under the sound of my voice, you tastemakers, you technocrats, you social designers, all of you social commentators, all of you. What does a woman have to do, or what does she have to say for us to see her as a hater? Not of other women, but of men. How blatant does a woman have to be for us to say, oh, you hurt because he ain't choose you? You're hurt because you're not chose. Miss me with the therapy language. Cut it out. What does a woman have to say? How does she have to behave for us to admit that she is hurt, that she wasn't chose by who she wanted to be chosen by? Huh? Particularly in the Black community, where Black women assume that not only do they have first right of refusal, they have a monopoly on Black men, regardless of how they speak, how they act, how they advocate, how they show up, how they're dressed, their weight. Black men are supposed to have no preferences concerning Black women. None. Not on their comportment, not on their behavior, not on their academic achievement or lack thereof, not on anything. Definitely not skin tone and hair texture preference. Absolutely not. Huh? That is the question, once again, to Telescope's comment. These quote-unquote celibate chicks equal incels. They both just can't make people they want they want to want them. Exactly. Exactly. Y'all notice when she called him Negro, that was the check. I'm Black, you're Black. How dare you look over me towards the Latina and the white women over there? I'm going to play it again, one more again. How dare you not only look over me, but overlook me for them? When she does the laugh, and look how exaggerated he's laughing. I'm your default. I don't care how she looks. I don't care how I look. You stay here. The Latino, he could do whatever. You stay here. Huh? Thank you, Dominic. Yitch, I look like your mom. Exactly. Why say that? What was the need to say that? Now, every Black man has gotten this. But your mama Black. I looked like your mom. I didn't know we were talking about incest. But what she's doing is checking you. You came out of a Black womb. Your default is Black women. It doesn't matter how we speak, how we act, how we advocate, our political affiliations, our weight, our skin tone, none of that. Nope, 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 nope. Huh? The reason why I play these clips is so that no one can say that we're making this up. This is the beauty of modern technology, of the internet, of social media. This is why Mr. Z says the internet will expose us all. I'm going to play the clip again. And someone tells Z that my reading is incorrect. Huh? Exactly, Neo. It's always framing Black women chasing white women. To me, let's read that again because that's true. It's always the framing Black men chasing white women. White women don't chase, right? Meanwhile, I have clips all over the interwebs of white women just straight up telling you that they are.
The Black kings get divorced, and then what happens? They're like, the Black kings get divorced, and then what happens? They're like, we're moving on. Snow bunnies are going to clean you right out. So the snow bunnies get on top of things, and they mix, and they have this beautiful baby, and the process continues. So I do find that Black kings often go to Black queens first, and then they're like, snow bunny time. They'll either divorce them, dump them, and then move on. Swiftly move on. And they'll feel all cleansed, you know? Right. Anyway, on that note, Do you like my nails? They're very Christmassy. It's almost Christmas. Divorce season's round the corner, which means snow bunnies warm in January. Yes.
And Neil says, this corny chick, mind you, Z, she did a video showing the event and having drinks. I guess what you're saying with white dudes. Fancy that. I'm not surprised. Black women always hold space for their hypocrisy. Because don't you know, when you as a black man date out, it's because you ain't ish. When a black woman, as a black woman, dates out, it's because once again, you as a black man, you ain't ish. You don't value her. The white man values her. That's why she dates out, and that's why you date out. You date out because you don't value her. She dates out because you don't value her. Don't you know? And isn't that super convenient? Isn't that the most convenient of answers for a black woman? That puts her in the space to always call you disloyal. While when she engages in the same behavior, she's doing it because she doesn't have a choice in the matter, don't you know? You date out because you're intimidated by a strong, successful, beautiful, well-spoken black woman, right? With her own opinions, who won't be subject to anyone, right? Particularly you loser bum-ass black men, but even you well-accomplished black men. That's why you date out. She dates out because you don't value her and her education and her status and how hard she's had to work. You find that intimidating. Not to mention you're colorist, right? And featurist and texturist. And all the things that you mark as something against her, well, when you look at that, non-black men, namely white men, find those things appealing. The white men are not intimidated by her success and her education. You, as a loser, as a black man, you are. How convenient of an answer is that? Huh? The beauty of the internet, and that the internet will expose us all. Huh? If it wasn't for the internet and social media, would we get videos like this?
Men in Germany are treated way differently than black women in Germany. Black men are appreciated in Germany. Black men are put in a cultural sense, in a societal sense, you are seen as interesting, whereas black women are seen as lesser.
An experience,
a novelty in which you can approach voyeuristically, and it's dehumanizing. I was a member at Soho House, and I remember seeing a black man sitting there, and there was all these white women around him glorifying him, gawking at the fact that he was existing. And I think black men need to acknowledge that their lived experience in Germany is disproportional to that of a black woman in Germany.
Huh? Huh. Black men accepting that their lived experience in Germany on planet Earth is different than a black woman's, because black men, particularly Americanized and American black men, are seen as a status symbol. Whether it's the swag, whether it's the ideas of good XXX fun, black men are seen as charismatic, good looking, and the juxtaposition to white men. And that hurts black women in these spaces because non-black men, white men in these spaces, just don't find enough black women appealing to make up for the black men who might end up with non-black women. Instead of black women having the ovaries to say that out loud, what they attempt to do is call you colorist, featurist, texturist, and fatphobic, and intimidated by their education. They can't actually tell you you have the power in the position. They can't tell you, hey, for every one of you that marries out, that's one less man, more than likely, for me. Because not enough white men, Latino men, and Asian men are open to not just dating, having interracial access, triple X fun with a black woman. No, no, no. Not enough non-black men are willing to marry black women. See, if a black woman starts speaking like that, and if black women in aggregate start speaking like that, then it's clear the power position. Too many boys, young men, older men will appreciate their power. Too many black men will appreciate their power. Black women can't give you that. So they got to speak like this young lady. Huh? So we're going to play that clip one more again. Of course she sound the way she does. She from the chuckle to the calling him Negro, that's not the word she used, to the way she spoke about how his exaggerated laughter when he was around the non-black woman, the Latina, she was hurt. Understandable. We get hurt sometimes when we get rejected. We get hurt when we're not the one that's chose. That's okay. But she can't say it. She can't come to terms with it. That she's getting older. She's single. She went to a mixer event. The brother that she found attractive, looked over her and overlooked her for a Latina. And that hurt her. She can't say it. What she can do is denigrate him. But of course.
So I went to this singles event last night in Houston called Crush Club. And hopefully this doesn't give him the wrong eyeballs. But black men that talk to white women and kind of like push you away when you're trying to talk to them, it's kind of crazy. Like I was talking to this gentleman last night at the event, and I just stumbled upon him. He was at the bar and I was going towards the bar, and I started talking to him, and he was a nice statuesque black guy. Like they have all these stickers that had color codes. So basically like green was like 21 to 24. Purple was 25 to 27 or something, and then or 29, and then orange was like 30 to 34, and then red, which was what I was wearing, is 35 and up. No cap. So he had a red sticker on, and I was like, okay, so he's in my age range or whatever. So I started talking to him, and he's with this Latino guy, and they're just chatting it up or whatever. And I was like, okay, finally I'm finding the people with the red tags on. How are you guys doing? Just mingling. I have no problem talking to anybody. So he says, I'm doing good, and he's like really chipper and really like over the top, kind of just like not flamboyant, but like boisterous and full of energy. Super chill, seemed like, or whatever. But he kept looking over me. He's taller than me, and he kept looking over me, and he was like doing these eyes at his Latino friend. I was like, okay, well, how long have you guys been here? And he ends up saying like, oh no, we just got here maybe like 30 minutes ago. And I was like, okay, I've been here for about an hour. Have you already stopped by the bar? Or this is, he was like, no, I'm not actually going to the bar. I just like stand by the bar line because, people are moving and it's more accessible. And I was like, okay, that makes sense. Like, cool. All right. Well, anyways, like, what's your name? And I see it on his name tag, but I always like to say, what's your name? I don't remember his name. Let's not even go there because irrelevant. But he keeps looking at this Latino guy like over and beyond me. And I was like, well, you know what? I'm not going to hold you guys up. It was nice to meet you. I just like to mingle and say hello to everybody. 2 seconds later, this motherfucker is with this white girl. And I'm like, oh, my bad. I wasn't your type, my nigga. Sorry for interrupting your swag for the white girls. No offense, but like, it's just so curious and like different. Like, I don't know. I go to a lot of black spaces. So when I go to these spaces, I know that the niggas like other niggas. But when you're in these kind of spaces and like everybody is involved, it's kind of one of those things where you're just like, you're unsure, so you don't want to step on any toes. And throughout the night, I saw this guy, not looking, but we're in a space where it's like, okay, if you already talk to somebody, that kind of like piques your eye when you're in that space still. So this man talked to at least 4 white girls only, and mind you, there were several beautiful black ladies there. And that's okay. That's your preference. Nobody is talking about the preference. Let's not go there. Let's not say, oh, why can black girls date white guys and white guys can't date white girls? I mean, black guys can't date white girls. We're not comparing. It's just how he was like basically looking through me like I was like invisible. Like, I get your preference, but you can also show me respect and like speak to me if I'm just talking to you. And you don't have to like look through me and like, be looking over to your friend like, fuck this chick, let's talk to her. Like, I don't know, kind of weird. But black guys that do that, it's just, it's like, bitch, and he's dark skinned. I look like your mom. Like, okay.
Yeah. Huh? My apologies. I thought she said he went to speak to a Latina. She said white woman. All right. Madam, you could have just said you were hurt. I'm not entertaining Black Uru, and definitely not Telescope with that comment. That's hysterical, and I'm not I'm not gonna read it out loud. That is hysterical. I didn't see it until you said it, and once you said it, I saw it, and I can't. God damn, that's funny. Oh, that's funny. Huh? She was hurt, and that's okay. That happens. But he doesn't owe you pretending like he's a. Your issue is that he didn't entertain you. Cut the crap with the. It's okay, but you didn't. You could have just been more kinder. Yawn. All these excuses. Just move on. You were hurt. You're getting up there in age. You don't have any prospects. And appreciate this. Y'all heard that jab, right? When you're in black spaces, the black men are attracted to other black men. When you're in these kind of mixed environments, the black men are attracted to non-black women. Huh? Ma'am, just go end up with the non-black man and shut the hell up. Huh? Every single time. Imagine, black men can't do nothing right, but black women still want to be with you, the ones that do. Miss me. Huh? When we're in black spaces, black women say black men are chasing after other black men. When we are in mixed spaces, black men are chasing after non-black women. Every single time. That train is never late. And this goes back to what Neo said. This corny chick, mind you, Z, she did a video showing the event and having drinks with white dudes. Huh? Of course. They won't ever do it. The freak says that quote unquote we look like your mom thing deserves a dissection from FD's camp because it's getting weird now. FD can't do it because the conclusion that I would argue here is that the black community is a matriarchy if you want to be kind, a gynocracy if you want to be accurate. Black women are saying you're being traitors. There is no other way to say it. They're saying you are being traitors. You owe them the resources. You owe them your presence. You owe them your labor. You owe them the emotional labor. You owe them simply because you came out of a black womb. You owe black women in aggregate, not just your mother, not your sisters, not your girl cousins, not just your wife if she's black. No, no, no. You owe black women in aggregate because you came out of a black womb. Now, black women throughout your life could have been a total terror. You could have had mean teachers, black female teachers. The girls in your school could have been mean to you. You could have had horrible experiences with black girls and women throughout your life. Means nothing. You came out of a black womb, you owe black women forever. And if they had the ovaries and the stones to do it, they would also admit what Mr. Z said earlier. Black women don't got nowhere else to go. It's that simple. Black women have nowhere else to go.
Black women do not be having the options that they say they got. And before you jump in my comments, no, I don't have a man. No, I don't have options. Okay, so I beat you to it. There you go. I already beat you to it. So if that's all you care about, you can go and scroll past this video. Anyway.
Don't you do it! Don't you! I got nowhere else to go! I got nowhere else to go!
Huh? This is what the shaming tactic is. The shaming is because black women can't admit to you they don't have nowhere else to go. Black women can admit to you, black men, that if they can't make it work with you, it's a lifetime of single or being the pass around for men, white men, black men, Latino men, Asian men, or engaging in same-sex loving relationships. The majority of black, they can't admit that to you. Whether it's a conscious thought or not is inconsequential. Huh? Black women can't admit to black men, if we don't make it work with you, more than likely, non-black men are not. I want to be very clear why I keep on saying marriage. When I say marriage, just hear stability. A man offering you his resources for the rest of his damn life. His labor and his resources, and he's going to overproduce for him and you and whatever progeny you guys have. So black women could speak about quote unquote dating, getting piped on, dating non-black men all they want. If she don't got a car to show for it, a house to show for it, huh? Then she's not saying anything. She might have a bag to show for it, maybe. They can't admit to you that the more and more black men date out, the more and more you're going to see black women engaging in same-sex loving relationships. I don't think it's a coincidence that somewhere between 21 and 24% of new marriages for black men are with non-black women, and something like 23% of black women under the age, was it 30, are some type of bisexual. You damn right. If we say, hey, y'all can slow down with the septum rings and y'all still doing it, go munch on each other then. And we telling you, hey, you could help to lose some weight and y'all give us the middle finger, then go munch on each other then. Huh? If we say y'all could slow up with the denigrating us, particularly in public, and black women say middle finger, then go munch on each other then. If black men say, hey, you could slow up with these mythical, magical white man stories that usually amount to nothing, and black women give black men the middle finger, then go munch on each other then, because that's going to be the end result for the masses. We could cut the crap. The masses of black women are not going to end up with some non-black man. There is no escape hatch from black men. Sorry, not sorry. There is no escape hatch from black men. You're going to escape to poverty. Huh? Black and Latina women who never marry are the least wealthy in the U.S. Yeah, that's what you're going to escape to. Right into poverty. Right into the struggle. Right into being on the carousel. Huh? And Saint Cyr says 90 watching 90 watching 31 likes. Hit the like button. God, y'all doing Z dirty. Wow. Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. Damn, y'all doing Z dirty. Come through, do my videos. Huh? Charles, I ain't gonna read that out loud. Hey, well, we know, hey, Only Logical got a whole series of divesting gone wrong, and a lot of it ends up in that type of situation, Tro. A lot of it end up in a gruesome ending. Huh? Is that gonna happen to all? No. Most? No. But are you playing with fire more over there than over here? Yeah. Because black men appreciate that the world owes us nothing. The world has made it brutally clear that the world owes us nothing. Many of those other folks of other persuasions, particularly the ICE ones, The pale skins, the Americanized pale skins, oh, they have a whole narrative they've been sold their entire life. So if he does have interest in you, and then you gonna start rolling your neck and telling him what you not gonna do, or you're gonna divorce him and take half. Hey, we got a couple of these, the endings of these situations on film. Mr. Z don't want. I don't like watching them. I can't watch them. When you see how gruesome that thing end, imagine black men be finding out that the kid we were raising for 7 years isn't ours, and what we do is put her on camera and make fun of her and tell her to get out. These white dudes get a little bit too much lip, and they gonna empty the clip on your ass. Go get some more, and then empty it again. Wow. See the difference? Huh? Black men find out you were lying to them about a child that wasn't yours, and we record you, fake a birthday. Everybody saw this video. Fake the birthday gift and tell you to get the hell out. That's what we do. Huh? Or we record you mid-act and put it on the internet. That's what we do. Huh? These non-black dudes, particularly the pale skins, oh, that's a whole different conversation. And we know this. Let Z say it again. Put it in the book. Whatever the negative proclivities, whatever the negative stereotype of whatever man, the group that he comes from, whatever the negative stereotypes are, or whatever those group of men tend to do disproportionately, when you take them on, appreciate that that can happen to you. Whatever the negative stereotype and whatever the negative proclivity is, whatever those guys tend to do disproportionate to other men from other communities, that can happen to you. And there's a higher chance or likeliness that happens to you, that happens to your children. So the white guys can speak all the time. Yeah, that's what she get when it comes to the white girls. That's what she get. He made her baby mama. Yeah, and you know to delete women, bro. Huh? You're known to delete women and play with kids, and I don't mean that in a positive way. Pretty sure the majority of women would rather be baby mamas than be deleted or have their children played with. And once again, I don't mean the positive way. Scarring that child for life. So, hey, Trell, I hear you. That's that's something that we have a number of black women who have been very loud over the past decade or so with this type of swirler divester talk. And well, we have a number of them that tried to do their sugar baby thing with these non-black men. Wasn't I want to say Only Logical covered a little while ago. The young sister, cute, chocolate, dark chocolate, Latino dude deleted her. I think in the hotel room. And there you go. Huh? We know of the stories of a couple of black women that were found unalive in the presence of white men. Huh? Nobody could tell the cops anything. And as a matter of fact, the cops tell the family, "Oh no, he was a fine individual." Oh, alrighty then. Huh? Just saying. Right? Talking about that.
Peter 605, listen, I want to wish your daughter a happy birthday. Her sweet 16. It's a beautiful age. And you make sure you and your daughter have counseling so that if she's broke, cat daddies like me ain't in that ass by the time she's 21 through 30. Because if you don't bring them up right, I'm going to be with them on their birthday. I was at the mall with the little broke bitch. We was in Victoria's Secret. And I'm sitting there at the counter. I'm like, what's up? She needs to get measured for a bra. She never been measured for a bra. And she want to have the right size on instead of the Walmart bras. And the lady was like, oh, that is so sweet. Is this your daughter? I said, I'm standing up in this little bitch.
Oh my God.
And it wasn't a laugh when I said that. It wasn't a laugh. The lady looked like, I was like, I got a couple of dollars. I get to smash little cute young girls like this that come from poverty. I'm standing up in her. Do you need a bra, bitch?
I know that lady.
I knew Trell was gonna like that part. And Trell says cat daddies like me. Shout out to Chicago. Shout out to Corey Holcomb. And there you go. And you're gonna see that, man. Look, especially as times get more difficult, the US government pulls a lot of the social safety net, pulls some of these definitely federal jobs, the employer of last resort. The women are gonna be out here. And I would argue for the next few years, they're gonna try to cobble up a life. Financially, they're going to try to cobble up a life. They still don't want to get on a man's program, definitely not a black man's program, and there's nothing wrong with that, right? And they're going to try to cobble up a life. And trying to cobble up a life is 100 from this guy, 200 from that guy, 50 from this guy, and try to piece together their life financially. Gig economy, they're going to be doing DoorDash, got a little 9 to 5, not really at Walmart. Working at Walmart, doing DoorDash. This situation with that man, this situation with that man. Okay, boom, we can afford rent this month. Huh? They can't tell you they're financially struggling. They can't say it. What they will tell you is that's what you're supposed to do, or they're just gonna aggressive beg. But of course,
you can't send me no money for my hair. You can't send me no money for my nails. You can't give me no money for no food. You can't give me no money on my rent. You can't give me no money on my car note. Can't give me no money on my car insurance. Can't give me no money on my phone bill. Can't give me no money on my light bill. Can't give me no money on my gas bill. All you can give me is dick. Bitch, get the fuck away from me. That's all I want to hear is you get the fuck away from me, bitch. Because I don't want to hear shit and you can't do shit for me. Fuck, I look like out here just giving my coochie up and you can't do nothing for me. You can't buy a bitch nothing to eat. Let's be for real, like, fuck out of here. Fuck out of here. Fuck out of here, nigga. Move the fuck on and move the fuck around because I'm ready to move on and move the fuck around too. Like, you say to me, oh, can I get some coochie? No, bitch, can I get some money? Fuck. So I gotta pay for cat? Yes. Yes, at this point, this pussy is for sale, bitch. You want some of it, you gotta give some money for it. I need nails, I need hair, I got bills, bitch.
and we're back. Yes, I know vehicle. Yeah. So yeah, cat daddies like me, like Cheryl says. So that's the aggressive begging, but of course. And that's what they're gonna be engaging in. What she gonna tell you that she needs your help, so that she when she needs you, it could be a I'm in a bind, Nate. The women don't want that power dynamic. They don't. Nothing wrong with that. Huh? And Inspired Truth says the gig economy or the giggity economy. That's hysterical. Huh? It is the giggity economy for real though. And it fits. It is. Talking about that too, Inspired Truth. You did send a super chat. Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. And Inspired Truth says, facts. If it's complexion, it's colorism. And thank you for the super chat once again. If it's complexion, it's colorism. If it's size shaming, fat shaming. Usually fat shaming, skinny girls have their own issue with body shaming. They'll just call it body shaming in just as a catch-all. So let's say that again. Facts. If it's complexion, it's colorism. If it's size shaming, body shaming. If it's attitude, you're soft. True. No preferences allowed for at all. Not for us, not for black men. Yeah, black men don't get. You're not a white man. How the hell you think you get to have preferences? You didn't go around the planet and grape and pillage, huh? In their minds, you didn't put black women as the beauty standard. Black women don't have a Wakanda, so you don't get to have a preference. And you got black women on the planet with white women, huh? You got black women on the planet with white women, and black women don't get to flex class privilege, huh? Opulence and extravagance on white women. Oh no, you don't get to have a preference, huh? White men get to have a preference. Black men are supposed to accept whatever slop black women throw on the table for him. Not only are you supposed to accept it, you're supposed to honor it and revere it. Whatever slop black women throw on the table. You should be happy she's acknowledging your existence, actually. Huh? And Inspired Truth, once again, thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the super chat. But like I said, the draw begging. Oh, the ladies going to draw beg. You better believe they're going to draw beg. Huh? What else does draw begging look like, Z?
If a man say something to you like, well, what you gonna do for me? What do I get? Tell that nigga go find him a man. Little bitch.
Sheesh. Everything's sassy these days, fella. You can't even ask for coochie no more. If you ask for coochie, you gay. You didn't know that, did you? Because she probably said, or in this similar situation, they'll be like, I don't know what I'm going to do about the light bill. Oh my God, I need a new transmission. And he ready. He probably ready to send the cash out. But he just like, what you gonna do for me? He can't just come out and say, when I'm gonna get some coochie. But that's what he really mean. Unless you got you one of those ones, you know, one of them high value men, then he like, why I'm gonna spend some time with you? Like, cause they all ready to give it up. And I guess when you come in with that kind of energy, it's frustrating because it's like, damn, I gotta do something. We don't want to do nothing either. To be honest, I understand where ladies coming from. Reciprocity, it sucks. It really does, because you want everybody to just do for you, and you don't want nobody. You just want to get treated like royalty. But it's like, the way the economy's set up right now, we can't be doing that no more. I feel where y'all coming from, but them times is over, man. Y'all had a good run. You had a good run, but he ain't gay if he asked for some coochie or some hamburger helper. Damn, you could at least make some hamburger helper, baby girl. Damn.
Shout out to our brother. And Saint Cyr says they really do have a problem with reciprocity. It's insane. Play it again for the people.
If a man say something to you like, well, what you gonna do for me? What do I get? Tell that nigga go find him a man. Little bitch.
Sheesh.
Huh? They do have a problem with reciprocity. Though, what are you going to do for me? And what's in it for me? And what do I get? Appreciate she's the one who asked first. She's the one who is in need. You're reminding her that she's in need when you ask, so what do I get out of it? Huh? This is the problem that we're having. No one told the women what their autonomy cost. Freedom's not free. That's what the military say, right? Freedom is not free. Ladies, your autonomy is not free. Somebody got to fund your autonomy from men. Excuse me, black women. Someone has to fund your autonomy from black men. Someone has to fund your autonomy from black men. And if you can't fund it, and most of you can't, we got data on that one. Black and Latina women who never marry are the least wealthy in the US. Huh? The average man spends $5,000 to $12,000 more per year when in a relationship. A disproportionate number of black women are kinless as they age. Advocates say they deserve a social safety net too. Shout out to Black Rue, as Black Rue has said, somebody gonna have to pay for these hoes. Ladies, most of you don't have it. Your autonomy cost. Most of you are not Ebony, nor will you ever be. You're never going to be Ebony K. Williams. Huh? You're never going to be Angela Yee. You're never going to be Vivica A. Fox. You can't afford your autonomy. So what you try to do is have one foot in your autonomy and one foot in financial security from men. This is when they start hopscotching, and that's when they sound like that young lady. Huh? I don't want to be under you. I don't want you to know you have the power position. I don't want to adhere to your rules, your norms. So can you send the money without asking me what you get from it? Huh? I don't actually want to be connected to you in that way. But I do want to be connected to your resources. If black women could tax black men, if single baby mama black women could tax single men with no children, they would do it. They would do it. They don't earn enough. Okay, even for the women with no children, black women with no children, they don't earn enough. Huh? Put it in the book, Advances, Financial Finessing Feminism. Triple F. Financial Finessing Feminism. And that's all it is, because they don't earn enough. Average income in America is $64,000. Median income, which is a better reading, which is the halfway point, $43,000. That means half of Americans make $43,000 a year or less. If that's half of Americans in aggregate, that's for the working Americans. I think half of Americans don't work. That means they're too young, too old, some type of disability, or pretending like they have a disability. So for the half of us that are working, half of that earn $43,000 a year or less. If it's $43,000 a year or less for the aggregate of working Americans, what is it for black women in specific? 35, 32, $30,000 a year? They don't earn enough. So we could keep talking about Oprah or Gayle King or whoever the hell, Lizzo or Ebony K. Williams, Amanda Seals, whichever one of these women have money. Angela Yee, Angela Rye, Yawn, Abby Phillip, all of them, Brianna Joy Gray, all the women with a little bit of money. Kim Foster, whoever the hell. Appreciate the majority of black women don't earn enough. They don't earn enough to be single. Yet they don't want to be on your program as a black man. And I say leave them out there in the cold then. Leave them out there in the cold for old man winter. Huh? If they don't want to be on your program, if they don't want to respect your authority,
respect my authority.
Leave them out there in the cold. Financial finessing feminism, that's all it is. If you don't earn enough for your autonomy, then what else are you going to engage in? That's a real question. If you don't earn enough for your autonomy, what else are you going to engage in? You don't have a choice. You don't want to be on a black man's program, but you can't afford you can't afford to be single. Huh? So once again, patriarchy by feminist specifications. You get to tap men, black men in specific, for their ideas of man provider. This is not even your husband. This is not even a boyfriend. This is a man that's probably just trying to have sexual access. So you get to tap him with the ideas of man as provider, while you also are still technically single, doing whatever the hell you want to do. So you get to have your autonomy, the feminism part, while having the financial security, the patriarchy part. Mr. Z ain't going. Shout out to all the rest of you men who will. Huh? Yikes. Huh? And Big Mo says, God, you made it a super chat. Gotta read it. Gotta read it. He says, worship this peen and you might get a blessing. Hysterical. And thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the super chat. Let me get this off the screen before. Right? And Big Mo says, it's more than half since the incomes are skewed to the right for the ultra rich. Well, that's why I made sure to mention the difference between average and median. Average is $64,000 a year. Median is $43,000 a year. Huh? The ladies don't earn enough. They just don't. They talk a whole lot of crap, but they don't earn enough. Black women in specific. And for a couple decades, for a few decades, they had enough social programs. They had enough ways to piecemeal a life, or at least an existence, right? They had their job, huh? They had whatever government assistance. They had whatever Splackavelli side dude that'll slide them, especially some of the older brothers that'll slide them 100 here, 200 there, 250, 500 here and there. So they were able to have their quote unquote autonomy and be assholes to the masses of men, black men in specific, because they were piecing together some type of existence. They have one man paying the cell phone bill, they have another man paying the car note. Their job is able to cover the rent barely. The government assistance is able to cover much of the cost for the children. You couple that with the child support, they were able to, piecemeal a life, an existence at least. Well, as much of that social safety net gets sheared, as much of that social safety net gets sheared, goddamn, I looked down and I saw that comment, Brooklyn Finest. That social safety net gets sheared, automation's coming in for certain jobs, the federal government is shredding other jobs. Well, women in aggregate, black women specifically, are going to feel that. Now we're going to really see if you're strong and independent, and I don't need no man. I'm gonna play this thing in a minute, but yeah, let's read this first because Brooklyn Finest over here being a whole comedian also, and Brooklyn Finest says, and thank you for the super chat. Oh man, and Brooklyn Finest says, Z, either way they will succeed. I mean, to succeed you must succeed, right? To succeed you must succeed. Just saying. Huh? There's another one. Let me get this off the screen before. The ladies said they're not engaging in that. They think it's denigrating. And I think that is okay. Mr. Z really means that when I say that. It's not trying to be spiteful or any of that. I really mean that. It is okay. But there's a cost. How many black women appreciate that it wasn't really black girl magic? It was the society putting a thumb on the scales for women, namely white women, and black women got to get a couple of crumbs from that. And the couple of crumbs they did get from that, they gave black men the middle finger. Huh? How many black women are going to be honest with themselves when it comes to that? Huh? You only are where you are. Yeah, even if we grant you, and I think it's true, certain women, black women, they did everything that at least they feel like they were told they were supposed to do, minus the man part. They went to school, they got their education, etc., etc. Got in good with a certain firm, making okay money, maybe better than okay money. But there's something about the man, you know, the one thing that's breathing, thinking, feeling entity that you can't control. You have to cooperate with. You have to work with. He's not your junior. He's not your employee. You're going to have to negotiate with him. And he more than likely will have the upper hand. The women said, I ain't doing it. Fine then. Stay your ass in the cold. Huh? And talking about that, shout out to Destro. Shout out to Destro. We're going to play this real quick and we'll make comments about it. Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat on the way in and hit the super chat either way. And press the hype button at the end of the stream. Hopefully it populates at the end of the stream. I know sometimes it takes a while, but shout out to the replay gang. Hopefully it'll be up by the time you guys start watching. Once again, shout out to the replay gang. And let's cover this from Destro. Shout out to Destro.
This is CNN.
CNN reports that Lord Destro has brokered a deal with Venezuela and Colombia to accept all women under 25 and over 8.5 for safe refuge. In a statement earlier today, Destro was quoted saying, quote, only the fit ones are allowed. No fat chicks, single mothers, or feminists. The remarks have sparked immediate backlash from what critics describe as average and post-wall women online who are now calling for Lord Destro's immediate cancellation. Protesters are already organizing under the trending hashtag #CancelDestro, while supporters claim the arms dealer turned pseudo-diplomat is simply telling the truth others won't say. CNN will continue monitoring this developing story as tensions rise both on and off Cobra Island.
I'm sick and tired. I want a man! I want a man! I admit it! Yes, I admit it! I want a man!
If you're a man, let's speak about that first part real quick. Not the whole CNN part. That's hysterical. Shout out to Destro. Destro said, I'm going to use every goddamn AI tool they give me. Shout out to Destro. The young lady yelling, I want a man, I want a man. Very importantly, I admit it. Huh. What exactly were feminists doing out here over the past few decades? More and more women, when they finally break, it's as if they were battling something. What do you mean, Z?
Okay, I have one more thought that I have to get up as the sun is rising. Okay. Sometimes we lie to ourselves. And I've been doing that for quite some time now. And I am 32 this year. And it's almost the end of the year, so I'll be 33. And I'm just not about to go into 33 lying. So I'm going to be one of the first hard up type of women to admit that I want a man. I may actually need a man. that feels so disempowering sometimes to say in 2025. And people make you feel like, oh, you're weak. It's like, fuck it. I want a man. I don't necessarily.
Madam, I'm gonna need you to put on your big girl panties and grab your ovaries. It's not people that make you feel weak. Be honest and be specific. It's other women, namely in this case, black women. Grab your ovaries, put on your big girl panties, and be honest who encourages you and might actually overtly say it that that's weak. It's not men. It's definitely not black men. I put money it's not black men. Huh? When these women finally come to, when they get off the stupid stupor, shout out to Toya. When they come off their stupor, it's this type of message. I can't take it anymore. I can't keep lying to myself. Who are they saying that to? Are they saying that to the men? Or are they saying that to other women, namely black women in this case? Huh? More and more women aren't saying, you know what, that was great, and but I think it's about that time. I enjoyed my single life. That's not. Some of them are saying that, but many of them, that's not what they're saying. When they finally break, what they're telling you is they're being encouraged to hold the line. Huh? I'm beating myself up for not having the Kim Foster clip ready when she was speaking on the Brittany Renner situation a couple years ago. And she said, "You're proving all these minister guys right, all these red pill guys right. They say that when we get in our 30s, we get desperate and then we start looking. It's women like Kim Foster." That's what Mr. Z said. They're going to walk y'all off the edge of the cliff into a lifetime supply of antidepressants, into numbing yourself with your rose toy, huh? Into being on the peen carousel indefinitely. They're going to watch you off the edge of the cliff. Some of those women, like a Miss Foster, will fall off the edge of the cliff with you. Many of them will pick your pocket and turn the other way while you fall off the edge of the cliff into the lifetime supply, of antidepressant pills, rose toys, being on the carousel, huh? Financially struggling, etc., etc. Huh? The outliers are doing too much talking. Too many women, white, black, Latina, and otherwise, but definitely black women. Some Latinas. They say, I admit I want a man. I'm admitting I need a man. I want y'all to appreciate that statement means that you were lying. Okay, cool. You were lying to others. All right. You were also lying to yourself. Ooh. You were lying to others and you were lying to yourself about that loneliness. Huh? About how well you're doing financially. About that horniness. Ooh, goddamn. Huh? So we're gonna play that again. Shout out to Destro. But I thought we needed to pause and really speak on that. Hearing that young lady say, I admit it. Ooh. A handful of women are okay. Jason Black covered that over a year ago. How many millionaires there are and how to get to millions. Very few women get to be a millionaire on their own. The men get to be in millionaires on their own. The men get to be in millionaires where their woman's income or her wealth factor into a certain extent, but it was still mainly him. The vast majority of women will never touch anywhere near that without being attached to a man. Why did Mr. Z bring that up? To say the outliers are doing too much talking. The women are struggling, and they're nothing but cannon fodder for a Miss Kim Foster's gender war, for Chrissy and her gender war, huh? For Real Talk with Yanni and her gender war, for Paris Milan and her gender war, for Cynthia G and her gender war, huh? For Oprah, ooh, goddamn, and her gender war, for Tracy Ellis Ross and her gender war, goddamn. The outliers are doing too much talking. Because as lonely as they are and as horny as they are, many of them, at the least, they have the money, they have the wealth to float them. Now, they might be angry still, but at least they have the resources to float them. They have the resources to buy a PS5 here and there, maybe a set of rims. Huh? The vast majority of women, namely black women, don't have it. So when you encourage these everyday black women with the autonomy talk, free and independent talk, what do you leave them with? Huh? What do you leave them with? So we'll play this again. Hopefully I don't pause it again. We'll see. Right? All right, y'all. And actually, before we do that again, fair use, fair use. Fair use, fair use. And shout out to Destro. Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. And here we go, y'all.
This is CNN.
CNN reports that Lord Destro has brokered a deal with Venezuela and Colombia to accept all women under 25 and over 8.5 for safe refuge. In a statement earlier today, Destro was quoted saying, quote, "Only the fit ones are allowed. No fat chicks, single mothers, or feminists." The remarks have sparked immediate backlash from what critics describe as average and post-wall women online who are now calling for Lord Destro's immediate cancellation. Protesters are already organizing under the trending hashtag #CancelDestro, while supporters claim the arms dealer turned pseudo-diplomat is simply telling the truth others won't say. CNN will continue monitoring this developing story as tensions rise both on and off Cobra Island.
I'm sick and tired. I want a man! I want a man! I admit it! Yes, I admit it! I want a man!
Sad. Really sad.
If you're a man, you don't cry about it. If you're a real man, you never go down, you just stay up. You just stay up.
I don't know about you guys, but like, I can't keep doing this. I'm literally crumbling. I'm crumbling under all the pressure of just life. Like, this is mental breakdown number I lost count because I'm just so stressed out and I just have no support system and I just need somebody to like lighten the load a little bit.
I don't need no man.
I don't need no man.
You remember those guys who were perfectly content living in the friend zone? The ones women called to cry about another man. The same man who was blowing her back out and ignoring her texts. These were the 3 a.m. heroes, staying up half the night because their quote friend, Lisa, had a bad first date and needed emotional rescue. They were the long game hopefuls, spending years on the sideline, praying that one day, in a moment of weakness, she'd finally reach for their soggy whistle and give him a pity tug. But I ask you, where are those men now? Sure, a few still exist, but their ranks have thinned out. Forget about situationships. Women used to keep entire rosters of these emotional support sims. Now, with that supply drying up, they're forced to come online to vent to total strangers, just to get the attention and validation they once had on demand in the day of the dog berserker. If she wants to vent, it only happens after the box has been secured, after the third leg has been drained of every drop of life force. And it's wild how such a small shift, a tiny dose of male discipline, caused a complete recalibration in female behavior. But don't be fooled, brothers. We built this monster. The modern woman is a reflection of our weakness, an addiction to lust, and our sympathy for tears. Discipline is the only cure.
Well, I've hit my breaking point. I literally cannot afford to live, pay bills, or any of this. And why the fuck am I alive? Like, I almost just bawled my eyes out inside of Walmart because I realized that I literally cannot afford to live. What the wrong with our economy?
Nothing's wrong with the economy. What's wrong is that you've been lying to yourself for the past 30 years. You said you didn't need no man. You said you shouldn't have to work more than 34.2 hours a week. But somehow, you believe you're entitled to 2 vacations a year, $1 million home, and a soft leather German-engineered car. Yeah, that's that good leather, Holmes. So tell me, how's that math working out for you? Because instead of looking like the boss baby you imagined, you're starting to look like a barefoot lumberjack.
It's either like this is my weekly life. It's either eat, pay money to eat, or don't pay other bills, or pay bills and don't eat, or like it's just like I have to ask my parents to help me to survive because I have no money.
Well, obviously, because sleeping in your car and begging your parents for money is way better than working a regular job in the day and cooking and cleaning for your man at night. What strong independent got time to be building a nest egg together? That's for old granny pick-me's. Now, begging out your car, this is definitely a flex.
Because all my money goes to bills. How do people live like this? And I'm just like, I don't even know what to do. Like, I literally have no money to survive. Like, I can barely afford to live. What?
I did have a friend visit me yesterday, so that was really nice. He showed some support by taking me out to eat and...
Now, I want you to listen closely right here. This is how men get quote-unquote friend-zoned in 2025 to 2026. Or better yet, the Berserker era. I don't know, it doesn't really sound that bad.
He showed some support by taking me out to eat, and he did buy a hotel room, so I was able to stay in the bed last night, which I loved. I slept so good, you guys.
Yeah, I bet you did. Now, I'm sure you guys know the real story. Her quote friend flied himself out. He bought her a $10 Applebee burger so he could deep stroke in her baby back ribs. Hey, you, don't get soft on me. Wasn't it like last year or the year before, they were calling you Dusty for bringing them to the Cheesecake Factory? Blasphemy. Now look how humble and happy she is to sleep on a 3-star hotel mattress. Yes, this is truly Valhalla on Earth.
Did you subscribe to the message of Lord Destro?
So that was really nice. I hadn't slept on a bed in so long, so you can only imagine how that felt. It was one of the most comfortable beds I've ever been on. But with that being said, he did show some support also by buying some time and, showing some love. And I did leave earlier this morning, so now I'm just going to go ahead and chill for today and see what I can do to help myself make some income.
AKA, she hit the streets on that never-ending chase for the next $40 stipend. Now, I'm sure a few simpy G.I. Joes are heartbroken by my take, but I always come prepared. Let me show you what happens when the shoe is on the other foot. This is how the modern woman will treat you when your money is low and you need some feminine attention.
And whenever, I'm down bad for money or anything, I be texting up, some down bad guys. I'm like, you know what, I can go see you. Just send me money for gas money and I'll go pull up on you, you know? Mm-hmm. Yeah, they send me those $50, blocked right after that. Blocked right after that. Only do this if they don't know your address, because if they pull up on your house, then, yeah.
But wait a minute. You didn't smash the bell and press the like button. Blasphemy.
Oh, geez, y'all. We're back. Reckless, y'all already know. Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat for the recklessness. Okay. Don't put it in comments. All right. So this is the cost of their autonomy. I'll play that for y'all and shout out to Destro so y'all can hear. And let me actually address this comment because it was one. There we go. And Trench. I think that's how you pronounce it. Okay. Says She's just talking about quote unquote livings and quote unquote bills. Does she really want a romantic interest or just a subsidy? Subsidy. We have to appreciate that most of our society weren't really taught like the building blocks to these things. So these women, they enjoy their autonomy. They just weren't told what it cost them, right? They weren't told what it cost them. It cost you maybe stability. Not being with a man, not being with someone that you're building a life with. Let's be very clear. Like this building term, especially in the black community, we done turn it into building a business or become somehow winning the lottery or no. Building a life with. The building is building a life with. And for most black people, you're still coming from working poor, lower middle class. So you're building a life. And you might start off in the struggle and you build a life with this person. And so by the time y'all pass, you would have set your children up and maybe even your grandchildren up in a way where they start off in a better position than you did. That's the goal, right? You would have climbed out of that position you were in financially when you two first got together, preferably younger of age. Because we don't have the technocrats, the social designers, the tastemakers, the talking heads, the pundits, who are honest with women about the potential precarity of their life. When they're single, you get this. Huh? Where, yeah, they're just looking for a subsidy because they enjoy their autonomy. Nothing wrong with that. Mr. Z has said this multiple times. But if you don't earn enough for your autonomy, well, you out here homeless. How sad is it? How absolutely sad is it to see that young lady? She looked Latina. She's probably Latina. Say, essentially, a dude flew out to smash at a hotel, and that was the first time she slept in a bed in how long? And this is one of the most comfortable beds that she's ever been in. Of course it is. You haven't slept in a bed in how long? The other young lady driving in her car saying her parents are helping her financially. But that's where you and a man come in. And y'all make it work. A lot of these folks are being floated by their parents because they don't have a spouse. Not saying that your parents wouldn't look out here and there anyway. But a lot of these people are being floated by their parents because you don't have a spouse. Now, Mr. Z definitely does have a larger societal critique, particularly about towards the economists and the technocrats, because this is not sustainable. With that, not enough women and their daughters fought against this. Y'all just went along with the stream and y'all thought y'all were going to piecemeal some type of existence indefinitely. And we're here now. And what here now looks like are women begging, struggling, white women, Latina women, black women, struggling. Brooklyn Finance says, sounds like, and thank you for the super chat, like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. Sounds like Black Girl Tragic to me. It's sad. It's sad listening to women, namely black women, struggle like this and cry about it and sad about it and sobering. What you thought was going to happen. This was always going to hit a wall. This was not sustainable. Sassy ass Ebony K. Williams, huh? Kim Foster and the like. They could talk like that. Too many of you bought into this idea.
This is what I tell average looking and below average looking women. If you can't date up, be alone. Life is easier that way. And I know that's controversial. I don't care. I don't care.
Huh? Too many black women think and feel like that. Women think and feel like that. Namely, loudest ones, black women. You imagine Chrissy saying that. And this article is out. Black and Latina women who never marry are the least wealthy in the US. Huh? And you telling them, essentially, if you're not dating up, then it's better you be single. You say that to the brokest group of people in America. Imagine that. Huh? And I'm going to clip out the Kim Foster clip I was referring to. I'm going to clip that out, that smaller segment out, so that I could play that, on this channel also. Excuse me, y'all. Because we have to emphasize the Kim Fosters, the Chrissies, the Ebony K. Williams is better. I'm single than your dusty son. Yawn. For you in specific, Ebony K. Williams, yes. You have the resources. You off your goddamn rocker mentally, but fine. You have the resources for now to float yourself. And I see that happening for the rest of your life. Congratulations. The rest of your sister don't got it. The outliers are doing too much talking. Ebony, shut the hell up. Huh? You know they more about the gender war. When Mr. Z speaks, systemic analysis. BGS, systemic analysis. These other folks, even the people Mr. Z might disagree with. Systemic analysis. Folks in the black manosphere that I disagree with. Even if we disagree on the solution. These Ebony K. Williams, these Kim Fosters, these Angela Rye, y'all forgot what Angela Rye said Trump's first term? Or before he even got in the White House, when he was like, black people, what do you have to lose? And Angela Rye was on the Breakfast Club. Me and all my people are straight, yeah, but the majority of black people are not. And I didn't even vote for Trump. You're the attorney. You didn't know how to frame that? You know what, Mr. President, or you know what, Mr. Trump, you're right. What would you do for black people? What ideas do you have? Even if you're going to disagree, there's a way to flip that and put that right back on him. You turn me and all my people are straight, yeah, but the majority of black people, namely black women, who you're supposed to represent, they don't. They don't got it like that. And here we are. When did Trump say that? In 2016? Here we are in 2025, 9 years later, and black women are super struggling. Yeah. Outliers doing too much talking. Way too much talking. Way too much talking. Shut the hell up. Huh? Y'all are not even honest because you can't be, you cowards. Huh? Sarah Fontenot, I know she engaged now. I seen the dude. Shout out to the brother. Cheyenne Bryant. Black women lost 300,000 jobs. No, we're doing okay. We go to school and then Brian started throwing out all these weirdo stats with 36% of this and 54%. What are you talking about? We are talking about the fact that over the past few months, black women lost 300,000 jobs. They lost 100,000 plus in 1 month. All this feel-good crap. No, we started our own businesses and we do that. Black women are in the struggle, man. What are you talking about? Black women are struggling. What are you talking about? What was the word that Sarah Fontenot made up? Not transferable. Some word she made up. Man, look. If black women don't start that goddamn civil war, I don't know what. Because y'all been being gaslighted. Y'all wanted it, but y'all been being gaslighted by white women, black women, white men, loser, simp ass handful of black men. Everybody's selling them hope and cope and dope. Hope, dope, and cope, dope. Nothing but coping, nothing but hoping. Huh? And now you have women, namely in this case black women, but also non-black women, who are feeling the cold breeze of their autonomy, the other side of their autonomy, the other side of their freedom. Huh? The other side of their freedom, they're freezing. They're like, wait a minute, this is not right, dude. I'm cold. Yeah, you're cold. You damn right. You don't got no man. I shouldn't need a man. Well, you don't have one. You're right. You shouldn't need one. And here you are. You have to pay for yourself now. Shout out to the men not being likable. Huh? The men are not likable. The men haven't developed personality. Shout out to you, Leisure Miller. Engaged, if not married, Leisure Miller. Once again, the outliers are doing way too much talking. Huh? So yeah, shout out to Destro. Yeah, the women are freezing. The women are freezing. You damn right. And I'm Waffles is girl math. 1 + 0 = 2. Saying. Just saying. Huh? And Eric says, I really can't wrap my head around how women thought the government would subsidize them forever and there would never be an economic downturn. I don't know. First, they don't watch those type of things, man. Look, we have to be honest that the majority of folks in America, not just black women, black folks, non-black folks, they're not watching news like that. Cool. All right, cool. Even if they are, they got their it's nightly news, right? Their local news. If they got it on CNN, maybe Fox, maybe MSNBC, but deep into like the muck of the conversations we have here, no. They're not subscribed or watching anything from any economist. Maybe if you go to certain businesses, they'll have Fox Business on or something like that. But outside of spaces like that, most people just don't know, and they don't care to know. All they care about is that the president floats this country for the next 4 to 8 years, pass it on to the next president, you float this country for the next 4 to 8 years, and don't disturb me, don't get in the way of my money-making endeavors, period. Most people, most Americans, they don't know and don't care. So for the women to consider, hey, there's going to be an economic downturn. The government's not going to be able to float you forever. Number one. Okay, fine. For the women that are in the private sector. If you work in one of these states like Mr. Z does in Florida, one of these right to work states where your team, where management can fire you or let you go for anything, then you're always in a precarious position, no matter how senior you are. Huh? The women aren't watching enough. They don't know enough. They don't care to know. It's that simple. They don't know and they don't care to know. They don't care to know. We speak about the social contract. We speak about the building blocks for society, for a community. How you start off, okay, yes, the individual, then the family. Ooh, wait a minute. What was that word you just used again, Z? Then the family. Uh-oh. Community, your network. Huh? They appreciate leaning on their parents, maybe an aunt or uncle or grandparent, but you got single as a loose leaf paper women complaining about the struggle. Ma'am, you're not maximizing your potential. You're not with a man. You said rich man or financially doing extremely well man or nothing. Well, huh? The women are gonna struggle. Let them struggle. Huh? Let them struggle then. Huh? And Mark says they can't afford to be realistic. They can't afford to be delusional, that's for sure. They can't afford to be delusional. You have a whole lot of delusional women who are at the whim of the rest of society. There is no buffer. Y'all are out here. Shout out to Compassion and Callous. Y'all are out here asked out to the market. There is no buffer. God forbid your parents have already passed. You're an only child and you don't got no man. You asked out. Everything is on you. Huh? You wanted your autonomy, you got that. Once again, a disproportionate number of black women are kinless as they age. Say again, Z. A disproportionate number of black women are kinless as they age. Y'all not even fighting against the system. Y'all think y'all fighting against something with Say Her Name? You think you fighting against something with all this LGBTQ advocacy, particularly from black women and LGBTQ black men? Yawn. Meanwhile, those black women got to go back to an apartment that they're sharing with a sister and a girl cousin because none of y'all got it financially. Huh? Yikes. How many women y'all know like that? They're sharing an apartment with a girl cousin and a sister, a girl cousin and the girl cousin's friend, homegirl. The whole homegirl is LGBTQ. Like that's the cost. Y'all want your autonomy? Y'all want to give men the middle finger? This the cost. This is the cost. Freedom is not free. I will never forget. Shout out to Accountable Commentary. I will never forget that video Accountable Commentary has on his channel. It should still be on his channel. Of the heavyset young lady with her son in Walmart, and she's stealing out of Walmart, and then the light-skinned young lady, I don't know if she's Latina or not, both of them got arrested. In front of the darker-skinned one's son, because they stealing out of Walmart. I put money neither one of them have a man. I put money both of those women do not have a man. I'm not even gonna say married, that's a joke. I put money neither one of them have no boyfriend, no man that's gonna claim nothing. Huh? That's the cost. And as more and more of you have to feel the weight of that autonomy, y'all saw the middle-aged, older-looking black. I mean, middle-aged, older-looking white woman. There you go. She's telling you that pressure on her shoulders. She needs somebody to lift that pressure up a little. Yeah, it's crippling her. Even yo good white folks, good white woman over there, dying on that pressure. Yeah. Meanwhile, all the white feminists blabbing. All the white feminists blabbing. JD Vance, Stephen Miller, they didn't even get to fully enact their will yet. They didn't even start kicking off as many of the dominoes as they want yet. All the dominoes ain't falling the way they wanted, not yet. And y'all dying already. Kevin said what he said. The pressure is not for the hips, it's for the shoulders. Something like that. Let's play that one more again. And shout out to Destro, because I want to play that part with a older white woman driving in the car.
This is CNN.
CNN reports that Lord Destro has brokered a deal with Venezuela and Colombia to accept all women under 25 and over 8.5 for safe refuge. In a statement earlier today, Destro was quoted saying, quote, "Only the fit ones are allowed. No fat chicks, single mothers, or feminists." The remarks have sparked immediate backlash from what critics describe as average and post-wall women online who are now calling for Lord Destro's immediate cancellation. Protesters are already organizing under the trending hashtag #CancelDestro, while supporters claim the arms dealer turned pseudo-diplomat is simply telling the truth others won't say. CNN will continue monitoring this developing story as tensions rise both on and off Cobra Island.
I'm sick and tired. I want a man! I want a man! I admit it! Yes, I admit it! I want a man!
If you're a man, you don't cry about it. If you're a real man, you never go down, you just stay up. And you just stay up.
I don't know about you guys, but like, I can't keep doing this. I'm literally crumbling. I'm crumbling under all the pressure of just life. Like, this is mental breakdown number I lost count because I'm just so stressed out and I just have no support system and I just need somebody to like lighten the load a little bit.
I don't need no man.
She admits that she's crumbling. She admits that this is pretty much breakdown number how many? Huh? Meanwhile, there's some Gloria Steinem ass feminist telling her to do what exactly? What is she supposed to do, Leisha Miller? What is she supposed to do, Financial Diet? Huh? Kim Foster went to Harvard. Fine. You was mingling with the white women. Miss Foster, what is she supposed to do? Outliers doing way too much talking. Huh? Khadijah found her a white man with a septum ring and she got her the hell up out of here. She got herself the hell up out of here. Talking about she gonna go travel and really experience these things and yawn. Yeah, you got yourself the hell up out of here. Skirt. Paris Malone hid her marriage from y'all. Got into one too many arguments with the mixed light-skinned women. Shut her YouTube channel down. You haven't heard from her in what, over a year? Yeah, what happened? I said it. Paris Malone was able to start a whole goddamn makeup brand off of y'all asses. Say it again for the people, Z. Women like that will walk you off the edge of the cliff, and before you fall off, they're going to pick your pocket. Mr. Z's been saying that for years. Paris Malone did that shit. You got me goddamn using profanity. Paris Malone did it too. Now what? Huh? I said it. Huh? Vince with the Drake. Vince says, I wasn't hiding my marriage from the world. I was hiding the world from my marriage. Yeah, that's it. Shout out to Drake. Huh? Paris Milan speaking about femicide, left, femicide, right. Everywhere you look is some 60-something-year-old man preying on some 14-year-old girl. Some 60-something-year-old black man, let's be very clear, preying on some innocent 14-year-old girl. That's how Paris Milan was speaking on her channel with that femicide talk. Meanwhile, she's engaged. Meanwhile, she got married. Meanwhile, she's hiding her marriage. Her and the golden sphere, whatever the hell they call it, bunch of mixed and lighter skinned black women. They go to war. They start doxing her or whatever the hell they did. She shut YouTube down and got out of here. Why? Because she's married. And from my understanding, her man made good money. She made enough from y'all. At one point, Paris Milan had the largest channel out of all of them. Chrissy and Real Talk with Yanni and all of them. Paris Milan was saying that some 350, 60 something thousand people. Yeah, what happened? I said women like that would pull it, and that's exactly what Paris Milan did to y'all. Huh? Exactly. Now what? Huh? Now y'all out here struggling. Now you're out here struggling. Financially struggling. Kim Foster in a relationship. Paris Milan married. Huh? Chrissy in and out of white dudes' beds. Ooh, goddamn. Huh? Yikes. Huh? So y'all like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. So I want to come to y'all with this. Emphasize they're out here struggling, everyone. I'm probably gonna change the channel. I mean, change the name of the video from random to they're out here struggling, because they're out here struggling. The majority of women, namely black women, they can't afford their lives. They can't afford it. Exactly, Vince. No struggle, love, just struggle. Wherever Mahogany Pink is, no struggle. You know what? I'm gonna go find that end of one of her the Myth of Black Love 2. She predicted it. She was right. Mr. Z predicted it. I was right. Shout out to BGS. He predicted it. He was right. Rest in peace, Kevin Samuels. He predicted it. He was right. This financial landscape going to change. What Mahogany Pink told those women was, as these other women get their mind right and they start going the right way, we're going to keep on going this way. We're going to raise our standards. Yeah, that sounds nice. Meanwhile, you haven't produced anything in a few years, and black women out here struggling. You haven't put out no content in a few years. Where you at, Mahogany Pinko, bum ass? Well spoken, bum ass. Man, if y'all ever heard her interview with Lexus Exodus, they sound like a couple of Nazi ass women up there. Little rude, snarky, a-hole women, and you know they really mad. Lexus Exodus got a whole different issue, but she got a black son, but now she's with a non-black man. Apparently, she's married to a non-black man and she makes good money. If I'm not mistaken, I think Mahogany Peak makes good money also. But she was in shows. You could tell from the way she was speaking. The issue is she was in shows by the type of dude she thinks she should have been shows by. Bum ass. Huh? Look, Buckeye fan, Vince will not let me forget it. And Vince says, no scrubs, an accurate financial analysis. You know what? That might be the direction that I might want to go in. A couple from no. Okay, we're back. A decade and a half away from, I said decade and a half, sorry, 2.5 decades away, give or take, from No Scrubs. It's actually more than that. We're working on about 3. The financial cost, yeah. And shout out to Indigo Flow. And Vince says, No Scrubs. You're provided now, boo. You're provided now, boo. Exactly. Huh. Telescope says, in these chicks' mind, the AC always works in their and maintains itself, and there's no economic cycles. Hey, I wanted to be very clear. I don't think men or black men especially are immune. We get hit upside the head too. That is not what I'm saying. I'm saying 2 is better than 1. The women are feeling it now. That's it. Huh? They're feeling it now. And Eric says, "Hold up, Z. You're not just gonna blow past that Keisha info. So Miss, I am strong and independent. Found her Dwight McManus and dipped. Yeah, but Khadijah was never the most anti-black man. Actually, she has a brother and whatnot, a younger brother. She wasn't the most vitriolic. That's number 1. Number 2, she did find her. If you see them, you'd be like, okay, kind of fit. White dude with a septum ring. I don't know how many straight brothers. Well, no, you know what? I don't think Khadijah's against dating a queer dude, so that's also something to factor in. But yeah, she got her one of these alternative white dudes, and you know, she kind of dipped out. Huh? What's going on, Missy? But yeah, yeah. She posted a couple of pictures on her Instagram. And then I want to say maybe a couple weeks later, she said something like, she's gonna slow down on the YouTube, and she's gonna go and travel and experience stuff and yada yada yada. If I remember correctly, I might be doing too much or not adding enough. And yeah, so she kind of wind down the YouTube channel. I don't think she's gonna be making any content, huh? Oh, babe, I'm still under the weather like a mug. I'm about to shut this down in a minute. Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. Yeah. Hey y'all, Mr. Z actually did go to sleep on the couch last night. Not because Miss Z kicked me out of the room. As a matter of fact, I'm the one who said I'm gonna sleep on the couch, but she actually wanted me to sleep in the room. But then we both knew that I was gonna snore loud as hell because my nose is stuffy and I didn't want to do that to her. Plus, I don't want her to have this because me being sick and miserable is way different than her being sick and miserable. I said that to her too. Ask her if I didn't say that. I said that. So yeah, I slept on the couch, y'all, because it's definitely one of those things where you would rather go through it than watch them go through it, because she catch this cold, which still might happen because, of course, close proximity. Yeah. So yeah, y'all. Anyway, yeah, it's cold outside. So I think I'm gonna change the title to "They're Struggling," right? Because they are. And KW Don says, and thank you for the super chat. And Trail says Z trying to alpha his way through. You hear me? Man, look. I'm really trying to tough it out. So I'll give y'all a little secret. Sometimes y'all hear a pause for like maybe a second or two too long. That's me muting so I could cough. That's me muting so I could cough, or so I could hurry up and blow my nose real quick, real quick. Right. Oh, hell no. We don't eat in the room. And Cyrus says, after getting Popeye's grease on the bed sheets, Miss Z put this ninja through the wall. Hysterical. Hey, man, you can't be talking about going to the gym like that. Kim Foster gonna be mad. And Miss Z says, I wouldn't be able to go to the gym. She's saying she wouldn't be able to go to the gym if she was sick. Babe, you can't be talking like that. Look, Brittany Renner spoke about working out, what she said, 3-4 times a week. And Kim Foster damn near had a conniption. I'll show it to you, babe. I think I played it for you once. If I did it, I'll show it to you because I have it saved. You better believe I have it saved. You better believe I have it saved. Shout out to Lion. Lion saved it too. You better believe. You goddamn Miss Foster, you better believe we got it saved because you meant that. That energy that you had, oh, you meant that. But she was angry as hell. And she said it. She liked when Brittany Renner was checking Myron and all these other dudes like Z. She couldn't check me like she did Myron. She liked that. She liked when Brittany Renner was essentially standing on these Negroes' necks in public. But when Brittany Renner admitted that loneliness be kicking her in the butt, and definitely that these dudes, parents, mothers are telling them to stay the hell away from her and other women like her. And when she started checking women, namely black women, hey, if y'all want these type of men that I have access to, you're going to have to work out. You're going to have to be in the gym. You're going to have to do this. Then Miss Foster turned on her. Why? And she said it in the video. You're making these men seem right about what they say about those of us in our 30s who we start to hurt and we start to be lonely and single, etc., etc. Yeah. I said it. I wasn't joking when I said it. Hold the line. The Kim Fosters, the Chrissies, and their ilk, the Cynthia G's and their ilk, they use your everyday woman as cannon fodder for their gender war. They really want these women to hold the line. And if holding the line means you single, you lonely, you horny, you're sad, you're depressed, so be it. When you get around men, especially black men, you act like everything in your life is great. You're doing well financially, even though you're struggling. Just so that you don't allow for black men to appreciate that either their apathy, their indifference towards your plight, or them being despondent towards you actually has a real effect on you. Huh? Just saying. Huh. So I said it, for them it's really hold the line. There's a number of women there. That's the type of time they're on. That's why when they finally crack, when they finally break, how they sound, Z?
Okay, I have one more thought that I have to get up as the sun is rising. Okay. Sometimes we lie to ourselves. And I've been doing that for quite some time now. And I am 32 this year. And it's almost the end of the year, so I'll be 33. And I'm just not about to go into 33 lying. So I'm going to be one of the first hard up type of women to admit that I want a man. I may actually need a man. That feels so disempowering sometimes to say in 2025. And people make you feel like, oh, you're weak. It's like, fuck it. I want a man. I don't necessarily... Yes.
How sad is that she felt like it was disempowering to say that? That mean that loneliness been kicking her ass that much that she felt disempowered to actually say it? That she need a man and she want a man? Right? Sad. Absolutely sad. Huh? also notice she's not talking to us. The disempowering to say that's not, excuse me, that's not directed towards black men. That's directed towards women, namely the feminists. I got you. I got you, Vince. I got you. Wait a minute. Where we go? Wait a minute. I told Ms. Z that we'd be playing this often on my channel. Here you go.
I'm tired of this, Grandpa. That's too damn bad.
And there you go. Exactly. Huh? And Vince says, I'm tired of this, Grandpa. Exactly. Right? Exactly. Oh, man. Oh, Neil, send it to me an email. Send it to me an email. I might cover it tonight because I want to do a low-key part 2 to this, but there's other videos that I didn't include in this, so we might get to that later on tonight. Because I don't know if I'm going to be able to stream Friday or Saturday. We'll see. Right. And on that note, right. So Neil, yeah, send it to me, an email, and I'll get to it when I get a chance. So on that note, y'all, we'll pause right there. Love, peace, and chicken grease. Yeah, go check out other Black Manosphere content, other non-Manosphere content. For the love of God, go touch some grass when you get a chance. And so yeah, the ladies are struggling. Shout out to Destro, right? The ladies are struggling. It's not a good look. It's not. It's really not. They out here finding weird ass ways to beg without begging.
If a man say something to you like, well, what you gonna do for me? What do I get? Tell that nigga go find him a man. Little bitch.
Huh? And shout out to Trell one more again. We'll play this one more again and then we out. We'll let the Asian dude got the intro and the outro. Here you go.
Look, I just want to know. I know your bitches ain't celibate. So who's selling it? Which one y'all selling it? You heard? Let me know y'all selling it. Because I know you're selling it. You ain't celibate. Stop playing with me. Stop playing with me.
Huh? Man. Wait, did I say something about a super chat again? Wait, I missed one? Wait a minute. Did I? Oh, wait. Oh, wait, I did. Thank you, Trill. Thank you. And KW Don says, I'm about to double my salary in blue collar work. I felt like I highlighted this earlier, or maybe I didn't. And that, actually, this is what triggered the whole thing about Kim Foster, funny enough. Excuse me, yo. So, I think a lot of this has to do with the idea of blue collar work earning less than white collar work. There's that. So we're going to put that on the table initially. But what I would argue a lot of this comes down to is the prestige of white collar work, number one, and the status of white collar work, right? It's the idea of the Christmas party, of the mid-year party. It's the wardrobe. It's the not being hot in the sun and doing manual labor, right? Recall, Mr. Z is blue collar. Mr. Z has been white collar, right? And so it's the idea of being around these white folks, and you are in this quote unquote stereotypical relationship where maybe you are white collar, but your boyfriend or your man is some type of blue collar, and it's the idea you couldn't get better. So let me, Keisha, let me get this right. You're college educated. You went to college. Okay, yeah. And your boyfriend? Oh wait, he's in the trades? Oh. So for some of us in the Midwest, right? Some of us maybe in the South, it depends on the type of woman. This doesn't necessarily apply because it's not the worst thing in the world to have a blue collar man. But then there's other circles, particularly in the Northeast and in the West Coast, some of these metropolitan areas, you have these highly educated, institutionalized women, namely black women, who see it as a step down to be with a blue collar man. This is not your grandma's America anymore, or mom's America, where mom was a teacher, college educated teacher, right? Or mom worked in the bank, but she was college educated, and she married your dad, who was a trash collector, right? Made really good money, but blue collar, right? We don't live in that America anymore. They already told you, more and more college educated folks, the college educated folks are not marrying non-college educated. Let Z say that better. College educated women refuse to marry non-college educated men. Shout out to all you coward technocrats who won't call it what it is. As you saw a rise in women's college attainment, they said, "Oh yeah, those guys over there, no, I can't do it. I don't want that. I don't want. Ew, he gets dirty and he gets sweaty. Ew, it's the ew. It's not the men, huh? So KW Dawn, just you know, the doubling of income. There's going to be women that don't care. Let's be very clear. Mr. Z is not painting all women with college educated women with this broad brush. There's definitely college educated women who that doesn't matter to them, as long as you're stable, you're doing well, you're not in the way, and et cetera, et cetera. But then on the other hand, huh? And by the way, that's their prerogative. Mr. Z is not about being the fallback plan, though. Shout out to Accountable Commentary. No reachbacks for blue collar, right? The Kim Fosters of the world? Nope, can't do it. I need to go find that clip too, where she went on a tear about how she could never do it. Hey, huh? Blue collar, we don't appreciate education, and we don't appreciate this, and even those of us that are making pretty good money, but we're blue collar, she's not gonna be like whatever woman she mentioned who had to argue with her husband about the kids going to college, et cetera, et cetera. And hey, huh? So there's that. KW Don, thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the super chat. Let me get this one before I end down. And Dr. Thunder says, and thank you for the super chat. Here's to support you, bro. Take some of my Savage money. Hashtag Savage Gang. Thanks, Dr. Thunder. Thank you. Right. Yeah, I'm just kind of riffing off of KW Don's super chat and him saying he's going to double his income and he's blue collar and the income is great. That may not be the problem depending on the woman you're referring to. And by the way, that's not just a black woman thing. Like, appreciate what television and movies and ideas of status and like appreciate, like, we all care about status to a certain extent, but especially the women, and men are not the only ones that see their spouse, I want to say spouse as some type of status symbol. Understandable. Women do too. There are women in our society that we don't really critique this who think they're above blue collar. Blue collar is great when they're bringing their car to the mechanic. Blue collar is great when they need a new roof. Blue collar is great when they need their lawn detailed. That's great. But they can't be with that in a romantic, better yet, take that back, Z, because they might let a blue collar dude smash. But when it comes time for quote unquote being serious, relationship, being seen in public, maybe not. Right? There are women that truly care about those things. They look, she has the Tesla Model 3, she has the condo, right? The thing that she's missing is the white collar man that earns more than her. Preferably tall and good looking, right? So that doesn't mean you asked out as blue collar. That's a lie. Huh? And let's be very clear, there are women that they're on the other side of that. They love that. I love a man in uniform. We've all done heard that. Right? I like a man that know how to use his hands. And that'd be the funniest thing in the world because we know what they mean though. Huh? Just saying. And Cheryl says, I mean, how else is she gonna get her handyman list done? Giggity. So there's the fantasy, right? There's the fantasy. But that's definitely a thing. And yeah, KW Don, I'm glad for you, bro. Keep going. And yeah, I mentioned Miss Foster earlier, and there's a number of those folks. They just don't look. We live in a quote unquote advanced society. It's the pyramid, right? It's Maslow hierarchy of needs. And for many of these women, at the top of the pyramid sits Robert Smith, right? David Stewart, but younger and better looking, right? Robert Smith, David Stewart, I would say Magic, but minus the itchy scratchy for life. Jordan, Jay-Z, right? These are the people that sit at the top of the pyramid scheme. Yeah. And they can't see themselves with anyone but that, and that's their prerogative. Leave them with that. Right? So on that note, truly, y'all, we'll pause right here. Love, peace, and chicken grease. Y'all go check out other Black Manosphere content, other non-Manosphere content. For the love of God, Z got things to do, believe it or not. And I'll speak to y'all later. And yeah. All right, y'all. Mr. Z out. Oh, we might do a part 2 later. Shout out to Neo. Send me that video you're referring to. And then y'all could do the send it to Z. Shout out to Saint Cyr. All right, y'all. Mr. Z out.
You are now listening to Mr. Z Blackneffect.